just thought I'd do a bit of a roundup really of the recent games that I've bought over the past, perhaps just over a month now, a little over a month. A bit of a combination of new releases and also some not so new releases, but games I've decided to buy to give a bit of a bash on my current gen consoles really, or a bit of a mix actually. It's PlayStation 4 stuff. There's Wii U. There's some PC stuff and also some PlayStation 3 stuff. But I just thought I'd just provide you a bit of an overview of what I've been spending my hard-earned cash on recently. Right, let's start with the PlayStation 3. Now, most of these games I haven't even tried yet. Some of these games I'll do some form of review on, I think. Well, I'll say some of these games, perhaps only one of them in a future video. But you'll probably realise that when we come to that part in this video, when I explain. So, PlayStation 3, two fighters, one that was that came out I think a couple of months ago, and one that's just come out recently, the past couple of weeks. First of all, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. I think this came out a few months ago. I played the Japanese version of this, and the UK version has an arcade mode included. The Japanese version didn't. The Japanese version I thought was a bit weird in its gameplay presentation. The UK version is a lot better. I actually bought this one second hand. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't second hand. It was brand new. It was brand new. Yes, it was brand new. I can't remember how much it cost me now. It wasn't particularly dear. So I'll have a bash at that on my PlayStation 3 hooked up to my Limburg cabinet. Now, a game that's just recently come out in the past couple of weeks is a revised version of the game that came out, I think it was sometime early this year. It could have been back end of last year. And it's Persona 4 Arena, and this version is Ultimax. I actually like the original version of this, and it looks pretty awesome, to be honest, as a fighter, so I really look forward to playing that on my PlayStation 3, again on the Sega Limburg cabinet. Not actually sure when I'm going to get time to play these, but what I have done is I've booked 2 weeks off over Christmas, and it's the first time that I've booked that amount of time off over Christmas for 4 or 5 years. I normally work quite a bit over Christmas, but I thought, sod it, this year I'm going to totally veg out on games. I'm actually going to get some serious game time in over the Christmas period and New Year, so I actually can't wait for that. So I'm stacking everything up ready to bash. Right, move on to the PlayStation 4. Now again, these aren't actually new releases for the PlayStation 4, but they're games that I managed to get hold of pretty cheaply. And I thought, why not? It's coming up to Christmas, let's spend some cash. First one, second-hand game, is The Last of Us Remastered. Now, I've owned the PlayStation 3 version of this game and completed it. I wasn't going to buy this when it came out, purely because of the fact that I've already played it on the PlayStation 3. It is a fantastic game, it really is. It was one of the first games for a while of this kind of nature, where it's quite a long game that I actually spent time to complete it. I can't remember how many hours I put into this on the PlayStation 3 version, but I consistently put time into it every week, and I completed the game. This came up second hand on one of the forums. Again, I can't remember how much it cost me. It wasn't particularly dear, and I thought, sod it, I'll buy it again and I'll go back through it again on the PlayStation 4, because it's been uprated with the graphics. It's 1080p, 60 frames a second. I thought I'd relive the joyous occasion I had of it the first time around the PlayStation 3, so I look forward to go back through that again. Just picked this up yesterday actually, which is Metro Redux. This was a fairly new release. It was sometime early part of this year, I think, on the current gen platform, so the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and the PC, and it's actually 2 games in one. It's Metro 2033 Redux, so it's a remixed version, an updated version of that game, and also Metro Last Light Redux. It's an updated version of Metro Last Light. I've played a bit of Metro Last Light on the previous generation and on the PC, but never really put a lot of time into it. And I thought, sod it. Again, this came up. It was fairly cheap, brand new, so I picked that up. I'll give that one a bash. Onto the PC. Yeah, now this is. If you watched any of the previous videos that I've done, you'll realise I'm pretty much into this franchise, and that's Call of Duty. So Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on the PC. I decided to go for it on the PC purely because a lot of the cross-platform releases that are coming out, I made a conscious decision that really around the current gen consoles, you know, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I would only really buy games for those 2 consoles that were exclusives, and I would more than likely stick to PC platform for any cross-platform games because the graphics are better. And now this game has been a bit of a pain in the ass to get working, all sorts of issues with it, and to be honest, the past 12 months of releases, really both on consoles and also on the PC, but I think the PC's been particularly bad, is that they've effectively been broken releases, just don't work properly. I wouldn't go as far to say that I've spent as much time trying to get Call of Duty Advanced Warfare to work stable on a PC platform, but I've spent a hell of a lot of time, up to the point where I thought, right, if I don't get it working now on this go that I'm going to try now, fuck it, I'm going to go out and buy the console version. I mean, the PC versions are normally better as regards to the graphical representation, and they're normally a lot cheaper. So again, when this came out, I thought I'd go for the PC platform release, but I've had an absolute nightmare with it, I really have. It's stable now, I've got it running stably now, so I haven't played it for a few nights, but I have been putting a fair bit of game time into it. I will go through that and complete the campaign mode on that, which isn't particularly long, to be honest. I think I'm about 50% through it at the moment. I'll probably put, I don't know, 3.5, 4 hours of play into it. So I'll come back to that. That'll be one of the things that I'll try and get that done this week, actually. We'll try and get through the campaign mode this week. I don't really play much online, I'm not really into that. I just want to go through the campaign and play it. But when it's working, it's a good game. It is a good game, I do like that. I know it's a bit marmite with a lot of people, but it's, you know, Call of Duty is Call of Duty, and I love it. So another game I bought that was for the PC, and again, this isn't a specifically new release, even though it's not particularly old, but it was available in a sale, brand new, is Alien Isolation on the PC again. Hopefully that game will be a bit more robust as regards to its stability compared to Call of Duty, I hope so. I didn't buy this originally when it first came out, because it's a bit of a sort of, it's not like Call of Duty, it's more of a stealth kind of game. I don't really like those games. So I'd actually question myself why I actually bought it. The reason why I bought it is because it was so cheap, and I thought, oh, sod it, for what it's going to cost me. If I put a few hours into it, it doesn't really matter, and, you know. So I'm a bit of an arse like that. I end up buying stuff that I potentially have got a gut feeling that I'm not going to get a lot out of the game, but that's me. I'm a bit of a sucker for stuff like that. Now, a brand new game that came out on Friday of last week, as I'm sure everybody in the world is aware of, for the Wii U, is Super Mario Brothers Wii U. Now, the pack I bought is the game itself, and also the GameCube controller connector doobry thing that effectively plugs into the Wii U, enables you to connect an original GameCube controller, which apparently is the controller to use if you're playing Super Smash Brothers. I will be doing another video on this, without a shadow of a doubt, going through a bit of gameplay and my views, etc. This has been hotly anticipated for the Wii U. It's one of the big releases this year. Whether or not it's going to be a bigger release than the Mario Kart for the Wii U, I suspect it might be. I think it might pull in. I don't know. I think it might pull in more numbers than Mario Kart, or perhaps the same. Perhaps they're on level as regards to how many people are going to buy into this game and love it. I mean, there seems to be a massive following on Super Smash Brothers. I'm going to be totally honest. I've never really played Super Smash Brothers on the Wii. It wasn't a franchise. It's. I like my fighters, but this isn't actually a fighter as such, in the way that I view a fighter to be. It's a bit more. It's a bit more sort of party game fighting, but you can play it on your own. You know, you don't have to have other people. But I think that's where it comes into its own, when you've got multiple people, and we see it to the multiplayer side, and you're basically just bashing the shit out of each other. I can imagine it's quite fun, but I've never really been into it, so it'll be interesting to see. For me, certainly, I suppose really what I think of the game, you know, when I start playing it, but I will definitely do another video on that when I get round to actually get that out of the box and actually playing it. So I don't know, perhaps over the next couple of weeks I'll be in a position to do that. So that is a very brief run through, guys, of my recent purchases. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll speak to you again soon.